that we see around us, without the trees and the wind, and all what we have on earth, Jojo Eki, we cease to exist. And our ancestors always taught us to take care of Jojo Eki, Mother Earth, for we nourish from her, we gather medicines from her, we live off her. Jikjami Gwach, Jikjamalido, I thank the Creator. Je remercie le Créateur de tout ce qu'il nous donne sa terre, aujourd'hui et chaque journée. Miigwech.
Well, it always feels like a bit of a homecoming when we have BGC Ottawa on An Hour to Give, and today is no different. I'm Sam Laprade, and I'm going to introduce my good friend Adam Joyner, who's the CEO of BGC Ottawa, formerly the Boys and Girls Club of Ottawa. How are you?
I'm great. It's so great to be here again.
Fantastic. And you brought a friend with you.
I brought a friend.
Medine Admassiou. How are you, my friend?
Very well.
Excellent.
Very well.
And what's your role?
I'm the Chief Programs Officer at the
Excellent.
club.
And you've been on with me before, so it feels like a bit of a homecoming, but there's always something new at BGC Ottawa. So what's new?
Well, you know what? We're right in the middle of summer, and there's so much happening all the time at the club. You know, right now we have our day camp programs that are up and running and super exciting. We have our overnight camp, Camp Smitty, which, you know, is fully registered, and kids are having a blast, or you know, right into session and just enjoying every minute of it. And then we have our evening programs and our sports leadership program. You know, we have basketball and all different sports happening. So, you know, there's not a single day at the club that isn't just jam-packed with activity, and it's a super exciting time. Summer's such a great time for our members to really embrace their summer, but also embrace the clubs and be part of it.
And there's not a day, all that activity that's going on, there's not a day that someone isn't mentored at BGC Ottawa. Talk to me a little bit about that.
And in every aspect of their experience in the club. They walk into the sports league, they're being coached, literally coached by the older staff members. When they walk into the front door and they're, you know, walking through the door and just saying their registration number, saying who they are, they're getting checked in, and the staff are asking them, how are you doing today? What do you want to do today? So they're checking in with the kids in subtle, simple ways to just kind of engage with them. And then in the programs themselves, you know, we have cooking programs, we have leadership programs, we have all these different programs where there's going to have a staff person in place that knows the kids by name, knows what they're into, knows what they don't like, knows who they get along with, and just finds a way to make sure they have a really good experience in the space.
Beautifully said.
Yeah.
It's no secret, you and I used to work together.
Yep,
and we were doing the math. Let's not do it here on camera, but we were doing the math about when we used to work together. It feels like, in some ways it feels like yesterday, and in some ways it feels like a lifetime ago. But I think about your evolution, really. Like, you were a club kid, right?
Yeah.
And now you're the CEO.
Yeah.
Fill in those, you know, those hyphens for me.
It's a journey. It's a life journey that I was so lucky and blessed to be part of. And Medine is also an alumni. And you know, when we first met, we were both running youth conferences together. And now, you know, we get to work with each other every day. And I think what's beautiful about the club is that mentorship and the support that you get doesn't just end at a certain point. They're lifelong mentors for some of our members, and I'm one of those. You know, a lot of the mentors that I had growing up still are people that I can call and say, hey, I need your advice, or I need your thoughts on this, or just a helpful ear. And, you know, care doesn't end when they're, you know, the club's for ages 6 to 18. But a lot of our members go on to become staff, or go on to become leaders in our community and take on amazing things. And, you know, our tagline is opportunity changes everything. And a lot of that starts with a good mentor who really creates an opportunity for a young person to see that the future is them, and that it takes a leader to bring that out, and that's what our mentors do. That's what our staff do. You know, we're not just a recreation program. We're a place that creates opportunities for young people to become whoever they want to be.
And what's happening on the basketball court can very much be overlaid into what happens in life. You get frustrated on the basketball court, or you score and you're excited. Those highs and lows of life are exactly why a recreational setting is the perfect place to teach those leadership skills.
Yeah, 100%. They learn how to win, they learn how to lose, and what does that mean for them? What does it mean for their peers? What does it mean for them interacting with other people? What they tell their family when they go home, how they show up the next day, all that stuff gets played out in the club.
And tell me about, I know it's going to be hard because I know you have a lot of people that have mentored you, but is there someone in particular you'd like to share about today?
Well, we're right in the middle of camp season, so I think there's the former camp director, Tom, has always been a significant mentor in my life, and so I can think back to when I first started as a counselor, and it's funny because I was just thinking about this the other day, and how hard it was. I wanted to help kids, but I was still learning how to help kids, and I wanted to be part of their journey the way that Tom and others had been there for me, but it was really hard to see and feel all of the things that these young people were bringing, and all of the challenges and all of the things that they were facing, and a lot of it I faced myself in some ways, and to then be able to support this young person for 10 days and create an opportunity for them to hopefully leave camp with a memory that they'll never forget, something that creates a special moment that will always be there for them. And so, I remember when things got really tough, Tom was there to guide me through how to be a really good youth worker. And, that's just one example. There is, like you said, I've been lucky enough to have tens, if not hundreds of role models at the club, and I couldn't be more grateful for the time that I've had with each and every one of them, because I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the staff at the club.
Beautifully said. And of course, I have to ask you, Medina.
I'm ready.
Who's your mentor? Who's your mentor?
Honestly, I close my eyes, I could think of so many. The one that's coming to mind is actually two. One, his name's Abdul, and the other, her name's Karen. And they both brought a level of energy. I'm not the most enthusiastic guy. I can be when I need to be, but they both, when I think of how they were youth workers way back when, they brought a level of energy that just made you feel like this is the most important thing that we're about to engage in, or this is the fun activity we're about to do. And I think about that kind of attitude and spirit, that I hope that other staff have that kind of same level of energy and excitement. And because you don't know what the kid's going through, you don't know what they're going through at home, at school, with their friends. But when they show up, they know they have someone that cares about what they're about to experience. So I think of those two as examples. So I should call them and say thank you.
Yeah, I was just going to say, let's. We won't do it right this second, but we will call them after. Absolutely, I think that's brilliant. And the phrase "letting kids just be kids," letting kids be themselves, and I know certainly from my time at the club, we would have a family come in, and you knew that the older sibling was really caring for those younger siblings because mom was holding down a couple of jobs, and maybe they were kind of pseudo mom at home, but they got to be kids at the club. That's what it's all about, right?
It really is, and there's an energy when you walk into the club, and it's built on mentors and leaders and people. A lot of our staff are alumni who've gone to the club, as I mentioned before, and they want the same opportunity for the young people that we're serving now as they had when they were kids. So there's something really special and safe when you see someone in front of you that literally has been part of their own journey, very similar to what yours is, and it creates a very safe space, but it also creates a space of learning, of support, of letting the world not fall behind you, but being able to live in that moment, in that present moment, when you're in the doors of the club, when you're playing basketball, or you're playing pool, or you're doing an art program, or you're part of the leadership program, where you can just focus on learning something. And that's the beautiful thing about the club. It's not just a day coming in and doing a recreation program. It is teaching skills that young people will carry for the rest of their lives. And to your point, that only happens when you create a space that is safe. And that's really what the club does.
And we try to we talk a lot about intentional programming, like be intentional about what you're delivering to the members, the young people. And if they're able to have that experience inside of our spaces, hopefully they've developed the skills, experience that they could take outside, right? So they can deal with whatever it is the rest of the world has to, throws their way. So it's
said.
Both things, yeah.
It's not all rainbows and unicorns. There's challenges. So walk me through some of the challenges you see in your important role.
We see all of them. We see food security issues, so that could show up in the actual program, talking to a kid and finding out more about what their home situation is and realizing they're not eating as much as they need to. Or it can show up with just a conversation with one of their parents, and they just share a little bit when they're there picking up their kid and just sharing a little more information about what they're going through, and knowing that, we should probably offer some options for them as well. Like we serve the kids, that's our main purpose, but the family needs to be supported too. So we, the good staff, the ones that look at the whole situation of a young person, recognizes what's happening with their siblings, what's happening with their parents, what's happening with other people, because you're a whole family, right? It's not just that child on their own. And then there's other things. Self-isolation is a big thing. We want to make sure kids are out, not just on their phones or devices.
Social media.
Oh my gosh.
It drives me crazy.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Do you remember, oh no, you're not as old as I am, but I remember back in the day, you knew where everybody was because everyone's bikes were on someone's lawn.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? Those days are over, and it's so sad for me. I want to bring them back to those days.
But it's funny because at a club, and to your point, there's something about the connection that a young person has because they know that their friends are there. I remember as a kid looking out the door and waiting for all my friends. I could watch, because I lived in an apartment building right beside the club that I grew up at, and I'd watch my friends walk in, and I knew that I had people there that I could hang out with, have a good time with, and it's still a place, when you think about after school, evening, weekends, where young people can go and find a place where they can hang out with their friends and be kids. There's so many challenges that young people are facing: mental health, the isolations, school literacy. There's so many barriers, and the club creates a space where young people can focus on themselves, but also build opportunities for themselves.
I can't believe how time goes by so fast when you two are here.
We've done already.
We only have a couple of minutes, but tell me, when you think forward, what's in the future? We only have a couple of minutes.
Oh, forward-looking. Yes, we want to see the development of our young people that come in our space. So we want to see what happens when they start at an early age, and where do they end up once they're aged out, as we say, within our sector. Where do they go? We have young people that get scholarships and go to post-secondary. We have others that start their own business. We want to be able to make sure that we're supporting them as early as possible. So we're looking at those kinds of things. I mean, the school year is around the corner. It's coming up, and so it starts with how are they doing in school? What kind of supports can we provide that complements that? Homework clubs, learning programs, leadership programs. Those are the kind of practical things that we try to give them now.
I'm going to talk money with this guy. So $1,700 to support a member.
Yes.
And we have 30 seconds. So tell me how we can help you.
You know what? BGCOttawa.org. Click on donate. That's number one. We need to provide this unrestricted access to our members. We don't charge. It's free evening and weekend programming during the school year. We want that to continue. That only happens because of the generosity of our community. And without our community, without our sponsors and supporters, we can't continue to do what we're doing. And it's vital for young people. I can attest to that myself.
Absolutely.
Me too.
See, still joshing each other.
Right.
I like it. Medin, thank you so much. And Adam, thank you so much for spending time with us today. We're just getting started. We're going to talk all things BGC Ottawa today, and I cannot wait. You'll want to stay with us, of course, to learn more about a big event that's happening soon that you may want to be a part of, and of course, how you can support incredible youth and children in our community. I'm Sam Laprade. Come on back.
This program is brought to you by Rogers Xfinity. connecting you to more of what you love. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
The Order of Ottawa celebrates outstanding citizens. Recipients come from diverse backgrounds. They make exceptional contributions in many areas of city life. They are advocates for minorities. They are media experts and visionaries in community building, innovators in healthcare, leaders in education. They are technology leaders and entrepreneurs. They entertain us. They are passionate about arts and culture. They are outstanding citizens and members of the Order of Ottawa. Who inspires you? Who will you nominate?
Hello everyone, my name is Kwadwo Karamantang. I'm an ICU physician here in Ottawa, and I'm so excited to bring to you our latest show, Solving Healthcare with Dr. K. We're gonna tackle some of healthcare's biggest issues, and more importantly, we're gonna talk about ways to leverage preventive health. How do you avoid seeing someone like myself in the intensive care unit? And this show is exclusive on Rogers TV, so please tune in. You guys are gonna love it.
Everybody knows not to drink and drive, but some people still think it's okay to take drugs and drive. Police have the authority, the ability, and the tools to determine if drivers are impaired by legal or illegal drugs. And because drug-impaired drivers can pose just as great a risk as drunk drivers, they face the same penalties, like the loss of their driver's license, a criminal record, fines, and more. A message from the RCMP, the Canadian Association of Chiefs of Police, and Arrive Alive, Drive Sober.
We're learning all about BGC Ottawa today, and of course, formerly known as the Boys and Girls Club of Ottawa. I have two new guests with me today, and I'm so happy to welcome Jacob McIsaac to the show. How are you?
Not too bad. How about you?
Good. What's your role, Jacob?
So I am the Neighborhood Ambassadors Program Coordinator with BGCO.
Okay, fantastic. We're going to learn more about that in a second, but you brought a friend with you.
I did.
Mohammed Mofak, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Fantastic. And what's your role?
I'm a provincial youth outreach worker with the Boys and Girls Club.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
and how exciting is it for you to be sort of sharing what you do with a wider audience? Because I would assume that this isn't the kind of thing that you get to tell everybody about what you do all day long.
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity to talk about what we do and what our team does. So.
And your particular program, we can call it NAB, correct?
NAB,
so,
yeah.
Okay, NAB. So tell me a little bit about that.
So the Neighborhood Ambassadors is a program where we've hired youth pretty much from the communities who do outreach 6 days a week, and they connect with youth within the communities and families and refer them to different services.
And so this is an opportunity to connect with youth that maybe feel a bit isolated?
Yeah, so it started during the pandemic, actually. So when everything was shut down, they didn't have connection to the schools, their teachers, to their coaches. So when the NAP program came about, they were able to meet with youth in the parks and kind of see how they're doing, how they're being affected by COVID. And then since then, it kind of evolved, and now it's just still street outreach, connecting with youth and referring them to whatever they're looking for.
So the silver lining of the pandemic is there was incredible programs developed out of it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find any silver lining I can. Jacob, help me out with that.
I think it's the best thing that happened. So it was able to hire a bunch of youth from the community. So
yeah, which is really, really impactful. And Mohammed, talk to me a little bit about your program.
Of course. So provincial youth outreach workers, we are, I like to call us jack of all trades, but a master of none.
Yeah.
We have a lot of specialties, a lot of great ideas, and our hope is to be able to meet youth where they're at, whether it's an institution, out on the street or at a park or whatever. But it's to provide as much support, and we don't limit ourselves to the capacity. We have housing-related supports, we provide mental health-related supports, employment, academia. So we honestly provide a range of different services and supports tailored to the needs of the youth, and we're just trying our best to honestly support them the best that we can. And we know that it's not a one-size-fits-all method of approach to supporting them. So we try to tailor it to a equity-based solution to helping youth find the resources they need to be successful. Yeah.
It's so important. So if I was to sort of follow around one of your neighborhood ambassadors, what would I be experiencing in a day?
So essentially, when they meet up at a certain location, depending on what community they're working in, they walk around the communities. They could stop at libraries, drop-in programs, kind of anywhere that you can kind of find youth. So it could even be like a McDonald's, let's say. And they'd say, hey guys, like this is who we are, this is what we do. If you need any guys' support, like how can we help you?
Brilliant, brilliant. And you know, when you think about the clubhouse, really is that hub in the community, and we know they're all over the city, which we're so grateful for. And a lot of donors have put a lot of money in to make sure that that's a reality. But talk to me a little bit about how important it is to kind of be connected in communities all over the city.
Yeah, most definitely. So if we look at the clubhouse, for instance, it's two sides of the same coin when it comes to PR work as well. The Boys and Girls Club is the hub, like you mentioned. It's where the youth come in, a great exceptional recreational programming and educational programming that's essential to their development. Whereas with PL, they don't necessarily know about the programs that we offer at the Boys and Girls Club. And I think it's quite alarming that they don't know. So we act as a liaison to ensure that they have that opportunity to bridge, the opportunity of having them come and participate, and really reaping from the benefits of the programs and the things that we offer there. Amazing staff, amazing personnel, amazing institution for them to come and participate in order for them to, you know, enlighten themselves and have opportunities of a great, nice little meal, as well as some great programming, build some great relationships, and it doesn't look too bad on a resume to be there. So.
For sure, absolutely. I love that. And you know, you mentioned relationships, and relationships take trust, of course. So how do you build that trust in the community? That would be a big part of your work.
I think with the NAP program, especially because we hire people from the community, they already have that relationship with a lot of the members within the community. So it's easy for them to walk up to, let's say, a youth in the park and be like, hey, how are you doing? Like, how's school? How's everything going at home type of thing. So I think having that people from the community work in their community, I think is very beneficial.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the winning recipe right there. How did you get into this line of work?
Long history. So I started off as an alumni. I started off as a participant at the Boys and Girls Club at a young age. What's really unique is that Adam was actually my intermediate youth worker at the time. So being able to be there and witnessing the exceptional things that he was doing within the programming itself. And I think that was the first stepping stone to why I wanted to participate more in the Boys and Girls Club. So if I was to break it down a lineage, I started off as a participant, later on actually I did my placement, my Algonquin College placement, social service work there. And then Rosie Warden, who was the coordinator of camp at the time, you know, may God rest her soul, she passed away. She was an exceptional woman, and she brought me on to Camp Smitty to participate. From there, became an intermediate youth worker, and then I left for a little bit, and then I came back as a PL worker. So it's honestly a full circle. I started off very young there, I think at, I want to say 16, 15, like as an actual employee. And then came back, here I am now, going pretty strong with the organization. And it's one of those organizations where it leaves a mark on you. It really does. It's one of those organizations that has an everlasting impact on you. And I just hope that for those who are watching and enjoying this, that BGC is a wonderful place, and that it's great. It really is.
And I miss that wonderful woman. I miss Rosie.
Yes.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of working with her as well.
Yeah.
Jacob, walk me through kind of the conversations that you're having, because I got to tell you, I mean, I'm old as the hills. The conversations we had as youth, very different than the conversations of today.
Yeah, so right now I think we hear a lot about mental health issues. A lot of youth are dealing with that. Employment is also a huge one. I think even Mohammed can speak of it. A lot of the times youth are looking for jobs and they're having a very hard time doing so. And then even just like transportation as well. They're finding it very hard to even afford a bus pass to get to places, to get to a job.
That's true.
Right.
And then with school, some people get bus passes, some people don't. And then when summer hits, they don't get a bus pass at all. So that makes them very limited and stuck to their communities where they can't kind of go out and venture out and do certain opportunities. So
So kind of build off of that as well. Like when we look at like the systemic related issues, we're looking at intake processes that are really challenging to decipher and have youth understand how to actually gain valuable resources and supports. You have culturally, non-responsive or that lack of responsive care that's essential to their comfortability and their support. We have the personal aspects where it's the stigma associated to accessing resources and supports, or being, provided all these things that may be, taboo, or to that extent, for instance, food insecurity. We kind of relay them to services, supports that are relevant to food banks. But again, there's a taboo to potentially taking food from a food bank, and that's something that we have to also address, is to get them comfortable with the idea and understanding that there's nothing to be afraid of, there's nothing to be ashamed of. And the other aspects of looking at it through a structural perspective, you have transportational issues that Jacob mentioned, you have the lack of technology, we have youth that can't call their workers, and we have youth that can't call certain amenities to ensure that they have a fighting opportunity, right? So we have youth, for instance, to give you a brief little example, I have a youth, for instance, that's trying to get a hold of their caseworker in order to get their compensation for Ontario Works. And imagine trying to have to call every month to remind your worker to send you your paycheck that you're entitled to, which is also a significant barrier, right? When we're looking at the challenges of trying to, attain the things that are actually yours, really. So we see that, housing instability as well. When there's an emergency case with youth, housing-wise, we're looking at a 1 year to 2 year wait for emergency housing, which is quite significant. So imagine trying to break down to a youth that you are going to potentially be homeless for a year and a half, or you're going to have to live in and out of shelters for a year and a half until potentially housing is there. And it's heartbreaking, right?
Yeah, even addiction services as well. There could be a year-long wait, so that doesn't help a youth who needs help right now.
No.
Yeah.
How do you take care of yourself?
I like to spend a lot of time outside and play sports as well.
Yeah. Because it can be, compassion fatigue.
Almost
is a thing, right?
Yeah.
So, just making sure you're all caring for yourself.
Yeah, burnout, compassion fatigue are all very real and very specific terms that we use in the social work and child youth work profession. One thing I want to suggest is that the youth, watching them grow and develop is honestly one of the most fulfilling and exceptional experiences ever. We actually have one that's going to be coming on today, which is exceptional.
I know.
So seeing them being, from where they're at initially and seeing them grow and develop based on the investment that you input it, and this is all very heartfelt investments, right? It's essential to be able to provide all these opportunities for them to flourish and to grow. In addition to that, having a foundational, strong team is exceptional, right? BGC, our team, PIAO team, and the NAP team, exceptional. We have that foundation where you can rely on your team for that support, that mental health support. We have all these different accommodations through, Adam Joyner's initiatives and our team's initiatives. For instance, MindStride is a mental health app that we can use as staff to be able to, practice different variations of therapeutic approaches. It helps us with maintaining self-care strategies and plans to ensure that we're all have the aptitude and the ability to take care of ourselves and to not bring it home and potentially to, instill it in others, right? So we'll be able to manage that fairly well. So I'm very thankful for that.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. Is there a story that when you're kind of lying in bed and the alarm goes off and you're like, oh my goodness, I got to get up to go to work? Is there a story that gets you jumping out of bed and can't wait to do the work again?
I think there's just so many stories, since NAP's been around, it's kind of hard to pinpoint one, but I think some that I can think of is the NAP team was helping support the travel lodge. So when that used to be a shelter, the NAP team would come in and provide support to all the kids who had kind of nothing to do during the daytime. They gave them opportunities to do programs and stuff like that. There's been times where when the naps were out, they found out that one community, there was a lack of basketball nets within that community. And with all the reporting and stuff, they were able to get basketball nets put into that community. So that was a game changer.
What's your dream for your work?
My dream for my work is for the world to look at youth and children not as problems, as potential people, individuals that have the capacity for transformative change within their communities, right? When we invest and we're able to provide all the essential services and supports to the children and youth of Ottawa, or generally speaking in the world as well, we can only expect great things to come. When we're able to plant that seed of, affection and that transformative elements, we see youth flourish. We see youth wanting to reinvest, youth that want to develop their skill sets and contribute to the world. And Adam Joyner actually mentioned it beautifully. He said that a lot of our alumni come back as staff. There's a reason for that. It's because of the exceptional impact that makes you want to come back and makes you want to. So in my world, the perfect world is for youth to be acknowledged, to be understood, for agencies to have a culturally responsive as well as trauma-informed and restorative care approach and a relationship building approach to ensure that youth are provided equitable opportunities and supports to ensure that they're not falling through the cracks, that they have everything catered to their needs, because it's not a one-size-fits-all method. And it's unfortunate that we have that philosophy that we could help all these kids through just one variation of an approach, whereas we know that life circumstances and experiences do vary based on social identity, and it's best practice to ensure that we are equitable and that we're understanding and compassionate and promoting as much cultural humility as possible and being as culturally aware as possible as well.
It's the perfect place for end our chat today. Although I'm sad it's over. Thank you so much, Jacob and Mohammed, for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. And we're learning so much about BGC Ottawa today, and it's not stopping yet. Join us as we return here on An Hour to Give to learn more about formerly known as the Boys and Girls Club of Ottawa. Come on back, everyone.
Welcome to Community News and Events on Rogers TV Channel 22. I'm Jillian Turman. Swimming in the Ottawa River can be risky, especially outside designated areas. Strong currents, sudden drop-offs, and hidden debris make some parts of the river unsafe, even for experienced swimmers. In Ottawa, it's safest to swim only at official city beaches like Mooney's Bay, Britannia, and Petrie Island, where lifeguards are on duty during the summer months. These supervised areas are regularly tested for water quality and have safety measures in place. Avoid unsupervised spots along the river where help may not be available in an emergency. To stay safe, always follow posted signs, swim with a buddy, and stick to lifeguard-patrolled beaches. To have your community news or events listed on our website, please go to rogerstv.com, click on Events, and post your event. That's it.
I'm Wendell Clark with a word about winning. We all know it takes a team effort in any sport and with any challenge. You can be a part of the winning team that shuts out impaired driving. Whether you're out on the town or just hanging out with friends, drink responsibly. Always have a plan for a safe ride home for yourself, your family, and your friends. You'll be helping to shut out impaired driving.
Visit ArriveAlive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive. Drive sober.
Hello, I'm Liz Dowdswell, Lieutenant Governor of Ontario. In 2008, carbon monoxide, a deadly invisible gas, killed an entire family in our province. That tragedy led to a new law requiring homes with potential CO sources to have alarms. John Gignac's family members passed away that day, and he shares his story to save others.
Please make sure you have working CO alarms in your home. Protect your family today.
Well, think all things Western this year for the Glamping Gala, supporting BGC Ottawa. And of course, we've got Sarah Grand and Sam Hetz here to tell us all about it. Hello, you two.
Hello.
Nice hats.
Thank you.
I love it.
Thank you.
I love it.
We're representing the theme of the gala this year.
I know, but you two actually look really good in
Do
them.
we? We're not sure, but okay.
No,
Thank
it's
you.
good.
We'll
It's
take
good. You're
that.
looking at each other. You look great. You look great. It's fantastic. Sarah, tell me how you got involved.
So I was approached in 2019 by a very good friend who sits on the board of BGCO, Michelle Taggart, and she had this idea of having a party to support the Boys and Girls Club of Ottawa, BGC Ottawa, and to do a gala that was sort of like the anti-gala. So the idea was we didn't want a long, boring event where you were sitting down through long speeches. We wanted it outside, we wanted it under the stars, we wanted it to be loads of fun with awesome food and drinks. And so we created this event on the Great Lawn of the Tomlinson Clubhouse, and clear top tents, hundreds of people, music, dancing, food, drinks, and it sort of evolved from there.
And it is the party to be at.
It really
I will
is.
tell you, my social media blows up every single year, and of course, you're going to be there.
I will certainly be there. I actually got involved through Sarah a number of years ago. She approached me and said, "Do you want to sponsor the event?" And we went, and it was an absolute blast. And then I was asked to sit on the board, and that was about 3 years ago now. And it's I look forward to it every year, and you know we've grown, and it raises a ton of money for the BGC,
which is what it's all about.
Exactly.
So you're cowboys and cowgirls by night.
This year.
But this year only. So tell me what you do during the day.
So I'm a real estate agent with Engel & Volkers. So I was born and raised in the city. I come from a realtor mother who was in the industry for 40 plus years, and so I been in the business almost 10 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great. And by day, what do you do, my friend?
So I'm a physician. I own a few medical practices.
Right.
One in cosmetic dermatology. The other one we just opened an executive health and longevity clinic as well.
That's
so
amazing.
I'm pretty busy.
So I mean, you're both busy people. I mean, I know both of those careers obviously are busy. Is this kind of a little fun on the side, a little fun at the end of August?
Honestly, it is that for sure. But it's where the money goes that we're raising through this event for sure. The people that were just on here, Mo and Jake, they're just so incredible. So hearing the difference they're making in the kids' lives, this is just our little way of trying to help with that. So yes, this is fun. This is what it's all about. It's getting people together. It's doing it for a great cause, and it's something to put in your calendar for the end of the summer and saying to yourself, like, I have this to look forward to. It's just a night you can let your hair down. This year we have a few really exciting things, ways to let your hair down.
Amazing.
And it's just a fun way to be involved and give back to the city.
So we're going to get tickets, of course. Western Winds, all for BGC Ottawa this year. It takes a Western village, if you will, to make sure that this all comes together. Who are we thanking today?
So we have a number of great sponsors, but Mark Motors Group, our presenting sponsor. We have Marathon Underground as well, Taggart Parks Foundation, and Rogers Media.
Yeah, really, lots of people involved to make it a spectacular event.
Yes.
Who's there? Like, who kind of comes? Is it people that are kind of looking to obviously give back to BGC Ottawa? But is it the real estate gang? Is it everyone?
Yeah, it's all of the above. It really is an amazing cross section of people in the city who are interested in helping out the youth in this community and who also want to have a really good time.
Right.
So we're just so lucky that you get to come to one place outside on a gorgeous night, and it's like a culinary tour of the best restaurants in Ottawa, truly. The food, it's to die for. It's worth every penny.
Absolutely.
The restaurants, we have North and Navy, we have Becta.
Of course.
We have La Bottega. Coconut Lagoon.
Yeah.
Town.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
My catering group.
Yeah,
Yes.
we have Mavericks Donuts for dessert.
my fave.
So and
Gitans.
Gitans.
Yep.
Can't forget
yes,
them.
yes.
So amazing.
Yes.
So and then the drinks, of course, open bar. Right, so it's a good time.
It's a good time.
It's a good time. We have also like a premium tequila tasting bar, whiskey. So as far as people who are there, it really is corporate, community leaders, people who just want to buy a ticket and have a great time and support the youth. So it's a big group of people, hundreds of people that come out, and so it's hard to pin down, but it's just a fun night.
Now I could move this desk if you two want to do some line dance.
I think we should.
Line dancing? No. She's like, I brought my heels. I'm ready to go. So talk to me a little bit about the entertainment.
Absolutely. So live DJ, live band this year. We have Robbie Lariviere, who's a live graffiti artist doing hats. We also decided to think a little bit out of the box this year, and we have a mechanical bull as well. No, for real.
Sam will be
Where can I
first
get my
up.
ticket?
Sam will be
Yeah,
first
it's going to be a lot of fun. We try to have the entertainment around the theme. Last year was Seaside Soiree. This year Western Winds. So it's all around the Western theme, and the food as well is going to be more sort of targeted and focused around a Western theme. So it's going to be a total blast.
Amazing. And I know you mentioned. I'm so blessed to know many of the chefs and the restaurateurs that you spoke about. Really, you've got the best of the best there. So not only are you giving back to BGC Ottawa, you're going to have a fantastic meal. You're going to be able to kick your heels up, have a great night.
This is it.
So how are people getting tickets?
So you can get the tickets online. BGC Ottawa, just Google the Glamping Gala. That's what we call it. We had a glamping theme a few years ago, and it really stuck. So no matter what our theme is, we always just call it the Glamping Gala, and everyone sort of knows what you're talking about.
Yes.
So you can go online and buy your tickets.
Yes, fantastic. And we're still looking for sponsors, maybe?
We still have a few sponsorship opportunities left. So
Great.
if people are interested, again, through the BGC website, there's a few left, but we obviously need those sponsors as well. I was speaking with Adam backstage, and I didn't realize that about 100 100% of the funding for the clubhouses really comes through from donations.
Yeah.
So really pivotal to have those sponsors and the tickets as well.
Yeah. So while you're riding that mechanical bull, you can think to yourself, look what I'm doing for the kids.
It's all for a good cause.
Yeah, it's all for the kids. It's all for BGC Ottawa. But having that creative side must be fun as well.
It's really fun. Yeah, it's really fun. Just, a bunch of people sitting around a table and dreaming up what would be a fun night. How can we showcase Ottawa's best restaurants and get everyone together for a great cause? So really, we had 3 different ideas this year, but the Western Winds theme, we all just thought this will be very fun.
Brilliant.
So expect to see some cowboy hats and boots and, as Sam said, some line dancing, and we're really getting into the theme this year.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And what would you say to people that are maybe sitting on the sidelines? They might be listening to us and going, oh, that partnership sponsorship is for somebody else. It's not my place. Inspire them, encourage them to come in.
Yeah, your dollar goes so far. It goes directly into the programming, which we've heard so much about in the last few minutes. It once you go to the clubhouse and you see it and you see where your dollars go directly into improving the lives of youth and the youth that are really the next generation of our city, it means so much, not just to them, but for everyone in Ottawa.
Yeah.
And until you go and see the clubhouse, and I think a lot of people don't really get it, but you go there and it's really powerful.
And I would just add that this year we're really trying to target the funds raised through this gala to the food insecurity issue that the youth are dealing with right now.
Yeah.
All the money raised is going to go towards kitting out the clubs with healthy snacks for these kids so they can go after school or go in the summer and make sure that they have good food, good healthy snacks provided to them.
And the reality is, this is so hard to even say, the reality is sometimes those snacks are the only thing being eaten.
It's true. Yeah, it's
and that's
true.
hard to think about.
Yeah.
I was so honored to host the big breakfast this year, BGC Ottawa breakfast, and have that opportunity. But those stories are really, that's the reality, right? We can talk about all the fun things happening at the Glamping Gala, but I love that both of you are bringing it back and saying, no, Sam, this is about raising money to ensure kids are not left without something to eat and empty bellies. Would you agree, Sam?
100%, right? It's all about the kids. It's all about raising funds and improving the lives of Ottawa's youth.
And are you going to wear this hat beyond the gala?
I think I'm wearing it the rest of the day.
I love it. I love it.
It seems to fit really
You
well.
will sell tickets. Both of you will just sell tickets.
We'll just walk around the city with the hats on as an advertisement.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So give us another rundown for those that are just maybe tuning in, joining us. Give us the 30-second pitch about the Glamping Gala.
The pitch is you show up on August 28th and you're just met with the most beautiful, stylish setting, just a glorious evening under the stars with the best food you can imagine, and drinks, and music, and people, and fun, and all for a great cause. So
it takes a village, really. I mean, I kind of joked about it earlier, but it really does take a village to ensure youth have what they need, to ensure that obviously they can become participating people in society and be healthy and have all the things that they deserve.
This is just like our one small thing that we can do to help. The breakfast is amazing. I'm a big supporter of the breakfast as well. I think it's so important, and this is BGC's other big event. So we really like people to come out and be able to do both if they can.
For sure.
So buy a ticket, come out, you won't be disappointed.
Absolutely.
It will be so much fun.
And are you looking for volunteers, or are you set for volunteers?
I think we're set.
I think we are.
Okay.
Yeah, the people, the staff are just so amazing. They make our jobs just embarrassingly easy. We just show up with the hats.
With the hats,
and talk.
You're set.
That's all we really
You're
have
set.
to do. And we have Chris Lezak from North and Navy who's handling all the food and drink. So
amazing.
So really, I think we're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see you.
But I think they're always looking for people to get involved.
Okay,
So
fantastic.
just go on the BGCO website and just check out the opportunities.
August 28th is the big day. That's where you'll want to be at the Glamping Gala to support BGC Ottawa. I'm going to be there with my cowboy boots on. We look forward to that very much. When we come back, we're going to meet a couple of remarkable youth. Stay with us on An Hour to Give.
The Order of Ottawa celebrates outstanding citizens. Recipients come from diverse backgrounds. They make exceptional contributions in many areas of city life. They are advocates for minorities. They are media experts and visionaries in community building, innovators in healthcare, leaders in education. They are technology leaders and entrepreneurs. They entertain us. They are passionate about arts and culture. They are outstanding citizens and members of the Order of Ottawa. Who inspires you? Who will you nominate?
Welcome to Community News and Events on Rogers TV, Channel 22. I'm Jillian Turman. Drinking and driving is a dangerous choice with serious consequences. Every year, countless lives are lost or changed forever due to impaired driving. If you plan to drink, always plan ahead. Designate a sober driver, call a taxi, or rideshare. Never let friends get behind the wheel if they've been drinking. Even small amounts of alcohol can impair judgment, slow reaction times, and reduce coordination. Staying sober behind the wheel keeps you, your passengers, and others on the road safe. Let's work together to prevent tragedies and make responsible choices. One moment of caution can save a life, maybe even your own. Drive sober, stay safe. To have your community news or events listed on our website, please go to rogerstv.com, click on events, and post your event. That's it.
October 5th, 2014, my daughter was hit by a train. She was walking along the sides of the tracks, and it shattered her world.
Thank you so much for joining us here on An Hour to Give. Of course, we're focusing all day today on BGC Ottawa, formerly known as the Boys and Girls Club of Ottawa. And I'm now joined by Nashwan Islam and, of course, the one and only Delilah Aslam. How are you? Nice to see you both.
We're good.
Yeah, you're great. So you've been watching the whole show, and we've been kind of waiting, and now we have the two superstars here. So tell me a little bit about your involvement with BGC Ottawa.
Well, I've been here for, I've BGC for like 10 plus years, Yeah. I've grown so much as a person. BGC has really been like a starting point for me, like especially in my future career and everything, I aspire to be a politician and everything. It's really been that, setting stone for me and everything. And it's really helped me shape myself into who I am today. And I'm just so thankful for BGC and everything. And especially all the people I got to meet and everything, and yeah.
And you get to be on TV. How fun is that? And be on the radio. It's so much fun. And Delilah, how's your commitment to BGC? Where does it all start?
So I've been a part of BGC since grade 9, and I'm now graduating high school. So I'm so excited. Yes. So it's been a great run in the very little time that I've been here compared to other members. However, truly, BGC has changed my life as a person, as a member. Like I've gotten so many opportunities I would have never had if it wasn't for this amazing organization. And like they truly see you as not only a member, but someone that will benefit in the world and like do good in the world as well. Like the staff really believe in you, and I appreciate that.
Wow. Honestly, I just want to take a minute and just be like, I feel like someday, I don't know when, maybe it's a decade from now, I'm going to say, you know what? I knew Nosh when, and I knew Delilah when, because I just see such bright futures for you.
Thank you.
So tell me about your political career. What do you want to do, and where did that all come from?
I don't know. I've always felt like, that the leadership like inside of me and everything, and helping my community and everything. I see like a lot of stuff within my community, living in Overlook and everything, and how a lot of like drugs, violence, things like that affect my community and everything. And I like watching the show. It's really like a full circle moment for me. Mo was saying how Adam was his mentor. Back then I've known Mo for oh my god, since I started Boys and Girls Club, and it's a full circle. So it's like 3 generations of members and everything. And I feel like that's really inspiring and everything. To see how we're able to help our community and everything, and how we're all able to be a part of something bigger. And we see cycles of violence, but we don't talk about the cycles of positivity, and those cycles of helping our community and helping each other, making the world a better place.
And just to pull the thread a little bit, so someone might be sitting here in a couple of years that says that you were their mentor, that Nosh was my mentor. Does that make you emotional?
Yeah, it really does. Like, I really see, like just the other day, I went to New York Fries, and one of my the people in my school is like, "Oh, I recognize you. You do a lot of work within our school and everything." And that kind of warms my heart. It's exactly why I do what I do. I do it for the people. I do it for the people around me. Building each other up. We're better together.
Better together.
Period.
We are better together, Delilah. I love it.
Sure.
So Canterbury High School.
Yep.
So you've been going there, spreading your sunshine, and you're graduating. So what's next for Delilah?
So what's next is I want to be able to give back to my community as much as I can. I've already been doing this thing called Sidelines with Delilah for Boys and Girls Club. So for the past 2 summers, I've been sideline reporting for BGC Summer League, which is one of the biggest things that we have going on in the summer. Basketball. I love basketball. All here for it. So I interview players, fans, coaches, just to really make sure all the voices that need to be heard are heard, and it just brings everyone together, So I definitely want to expand that and be able to interview more community leaders and people that are involved that don't necessarily get the spotlight. I want to start a series called Spotlight series on Sidelines with Delilah, so we'll see where that takes us.
I love it, and I like the spotlight. I like that. I like it. I like it. You've got the brand down.
Yes, for sure.
If somebody came up to you and said, "How has BGC Ottawa changed your life?" What would you say?
I'd say, when I started out at Boys and Girls Club, I was such a shy kid, and over time I kind of became more troubled and stuff. But, and then I feel like as soon as I stopped going to Boys and Girls Club, when COVID hit and everything, I became even more troubled and everything. And, I really wasn't in the best place and everything. But I came back, and I had positivity around me. I had those role models around me. I know those things that made me a better person and made me who I am today. Without Boys and Girls Club, I don't think I'd be sitting here today, to be honest. And I'm just really grateful to be a part of something bigger than myself.
Yeah, that's incredible. And how about you, Delilah? How has it changed your life?
I wouldn't be the person I am if it weren't for BGC, because sometimes it takes that one staff, that one adult figure in your life that believes in you and sees a light in you that you don't see, perhaps, and they help you see it. It always takes that one person to help you get to where you want to be or where you need to be. And I'm so excited to be able to give back to this community as much as I can.
And you speak about the community of Overbrook and some of the challenges, and it's not just the Overbrook community. There's lots of communities that have challenges in this city. How do you want to leave a Nosh stamp on that community?
Like I said, those small things, like Boys and Girls Club is one thing. Without Boys and Girls Club, I feel like a lot of my community wouldn't be, where they are today. Boys and Girls Club, it's like an outlet for you to express yourself through sports, through arts, through, learning, and they're always giving back to us, and, it helps our community, become better, and, helps those kids get off the streets, helps those, those families that are in need. And I feel like that's something I want to leave behind as well in the future. I feel like within BGC, whatever it is, I aspire to be a federal politician, but even if it's local, I'm okay with that as well. And just helping my community, that's my biggest goal in life.
Nosh, MP. Period. I can see it. Oh, I hope I can vote. To move into your ward just so I can vote. So Delilah, talk to me a little bit. 5 to 10 years from now, where's Delilah going to be?
Delilah's going to be the CEO of BGC Ottawa.
There we go.
Nah, Adam, I'm coming for you. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. No, but seriously, I would love to be still within the community, helping out, whether it's being a teacher, social worker, youth worker, still doing my interviews, whatever it is. As long as I'm talking with people, I'm with people in a setting where I can express myself and allow others to express themselves too, that's where I see myself for sure. So surrounded by people.
And the friendships that you've built, how important are those moving forward? That it's like-minded people that have received that that same type of mentorship? Because we know that we become the 5 people that we surround ourselves with.
Exactly.
Right?
100%. I feel like you are who you hang out with. You are who you surround yourself with. You know, and you never know who you're gonna see at the top when you're at the top as well. You know, being kind to people. You know, with those little acts of kindness. It helps us become better, become one. You know, we see a lot of stuff happening within our world right now, and there's a lot of violence, there's a lot of conflicts. You know, but those little acts of kindness, it helps us. It's small steps to become a better world, become better people.
There's a narrative in the world that when you're raised by a single mom, you don't get as much as you need. Talk to me about your mom and what she's done to raise this beautiful girl and to raise your brother.
First, I want to say, Mom, I love you. I love you so much. My mom has given us everything with the little that we've grown up with all the work that she's put in. She has done her best to give us everything, you know, and I owe my mom the world. I wouldn't know what true strength is or what a true woman is if it wasn't for my mother. And she showed me that if you put your mind to it and you're determined and you put love and passion into it, anything is possible. And she raised us on her back. She raised us always working, always just putting food on the table no matter what the circumstance is. And I can't even begin to say how much I want to be able to repay my mom in every way possible. So I love her so much.
You just did.
Aww. I love you, Mom.
And Nosh, how about your family? Talk to me about how this has impacted you and not only you but your family as well.
I'd say like my parents especially, you know, they came to this country with nothing, and you know, they've worked the worst jobs, they worked the best jobs, you know, they are who they are right now because of, you know, the hard work they put in, you know. I'd say they're workaholics, you know, they love working, you know. My mom, she went, you know, had a hard time last year with her, she had health complications and everything, but together we, you know, pushed through it, you know. They're like my biggest inspiration, they're always there for me, they're always want me to do better for myself, you know. I feel like every parent's dream is to have for their kids to have a better dream, better life than they did, you know. Especially my dad right now, you know, he's having some health complications as well. He's in the ER right now, you know. So I love you, Dad. I love you, Mom. I love you. I love you guys, you know.
And I think a lot of families see BGC Ottawa as a way to enrich their families, right? So you both come from great families. It's a way to enrich and provide those programming opportunities that maybe others wouldn't have received. So I'm so glad that both of you have had those opportunities. I'm going to give you each about 15 seconds. Who do you want to thank at BGC Ottawa?
I'd say Mo 100%. You know, I'd like to thank Ibrahim as well, Kirsten. You know, I'd like to thank all of Don McGann as a whole. You know, I really wouldn't be here without them. They gave me an outlet to express myself, and you know, I am here today because of them. And I will, you know, I hope in the future I'm able to repay that debt.
10 seconds.
I want to thank the big three, Ina, Kim, and Tim. I love you guys so much. I wouldn't be the person I am without you guys. Thank you for always believing me and doing good for everyone at the club. You guys are the best. Thank you so much.
I know a couple of the three there you're talking about.
Yeah,
exactly. Wow, what an opportunity today. Thank you both so much for sharing your story.
Thank you so
much. And thank you so much for spending time with us today on An Hour to Give, learning all about BGC Ottawa. And of course, you're going to want to learn all about the Glamping Gala. Visit their website and get all those details. And if you can, make a gift for the youth of Ottawa. I'm Sam Laprade. Thanks for spending time with us.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.